Okay, so Cancer, this week is about decisions that can make or break your October, all right? I need you to listen up because Spirit is saying we can't play small anymore, all right? The choices that we make between now and next weekend, y'all, they are going to have like ripple effects in your love life, your money moves, even your friendships, y'all, okay? So let's get into it because this energy is not letting us sit on the fence anymore, all right? Welcome back to the Cancerian Vibe, you guys. I am the Spiritual Bridge. This is your one-stop shop for astrology, intuitive insight, and tarot that is made specially for my fellow Cancerian placements, you guys. Just a quick PSA, you're going to notice the watermark on everything now, okay? Because people love to want to steal my content for some reason. If you do see my work floating around there, that isn't on one of my official pages, you guys, please report it. Do not support it, all right? I really, really appreciate you in protecting that vibe, all right? But let's sip on some Astro-TEA, y'all, because this week, let's just talk about the Astro-TEA for the week ahead, okay? We're going to start off, we have a first quarter moon in the sign of Capricorn, y'all, on the 29th, okay? And so Cancer, listen up, because this means that decisions and adjustments around maybe responsibility or discipline, your goals, those things, y'all, like this is really where it's gonna make some shifts, all right? In real life, this might, look like you saying, okay, I've been talking about getting serious with my health, or I've been talking about getting serious about budgeting my money, or about this relationship. But now it's like time to put foot to the metal, to the gas. Okay. Now it's time to actually do it. So, you can expect a moment this week where you're going to feel like a little bit of pressure, right? Like the universe is testing just how committed you are to something, right? So please don't resist this, Cancer. You want to use this to your benefit. Use this to level up, okay? Next up, what's happening in the astro streets, okay? On September the 30th, Juno is going to move into the sign of Sagittarius, y'all. And Juno is all about partnerships, all about commitment. And so with this Sagittarius energy, Sagittarius energy, I feel like craves freedom and it wants adventure. It wants growth, right? And so for us, this can show up in relationships where, suddenly you or even your partner, you're just craving more honesty, craving, just wanting to go deeper, exploring more, exploration, or just expansion even, y'all. Some of you may be talking about like moving in together or traveling and going somewhere together, or just asking, if this connection is really giving you what you actually need long term. This is where those real life questions are coming in. But on the flip side, y'all, if it's not, you probably gonna be renegotiating some terms, okay? This is the time to, how you have like your little 90-day review and we see if we want to keep you or let you go. This is what you're gonna be doing in your relationships this week, Cancer, okay? And then to top off the end of the week, y'all, on October the 4th, Pallas is going to go direct in the sign of Aquarius. And this is very much strategy energy, y'all. Okay. It's about really seeing the bigger picture clearly again. And, where things may have felt fuzzy, in August and September. And, it's like now your mind is going to get sharper, right? So Cancer, this could be really as simple as you just finally figuring out a smarter schedule for how your week can flow. This could look like you finding the missing piece to, that business idea that you've been toying around with, or even just recognizing patterns in your friendships and your family dynamics, your relationships, the important ones. So basically, I just feel like, this week things are going to start clicking. You know what I mean? You're going to start to kind of feel the clarity that you've been seeking, right? But Before we pull cards, you guys, I do want to give just a quick reminder. If you want deeper insight, you want a personal reading or one-on-one session with me, classes, everything that you need is going to be in the description box below, you guys, and the pin comment below. So while you're in the comment section and the pin comment, y'all, just definitely say hey to me. I love responding to you guys. I love interacting with you. Drop a Cancer emoji or a crab emoji just to let me know that you're tapped in, you're part of the tribe, okay? And make sure you leave some good energy on my thumbs up button, you guys. Make sure you do that and tap that hype button for me. I would appreciate it. It really, really supports me, the channel, and I'm extremely, extremely grateful, okay? Extremely. So thank you for finding it not robbery and doing that free thing for me. It's not completely free because it does take your time, but I appreciate you exchanging the energy of my time for that, okay? It's really, really, truly appreciated for those of you that do that for me. But let's get into it. Let's see what Spirit wants us to know for this upcoming week ahead. All right. And I feel like, I don't know if y'all peeped that the freedom card tried to pop over. Oh, I thought that was it again. I was like, okay, yeah, it's supposed to be seen. But definitely there's an energy, there's an air. I know that that's coming kind of off the week, last week that we had, this energy of freedom and dropping baggage and just kind of a lightness moving forward. So yeah, let's dive into this week and see what's going on. Remember, this is your reading for the week ahead, so you know what to expect, what's coming towards you. Let's look at the energy that's guiding Cancer placements between this last week or last couple of days of September. Okay. So October 5th. So look, we have the strength card that's coming out, Cancer. It says, this challenge will make you stronger, okay? You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. And I don't know why I heard somebody huff and puff when I said that, because it's like, I feel like I heard somebody say, like, I'm tired of being strong. But the thing is, Cancer, like, it's not coincidence that we're Cancers, okay? There was dedication in us being Cancers, all right? Because a lot of us are healers in our own way, and that's the energy that's showing up, this underlying energy, right? You have powerful gifts, so you are sometimes Cancer, and I'm sorry, I'm just the messenger, okay? And just keep in mind that I too, myself, Bridget, am a Cancer, okay? A Cancer stellium, so I really feel this, y'all. But sometimes as Cancers, y'all, we have to kind of go through things, especially with us being so intuitive, so sensitive, so, just kind of tapped in. We are the ones that get chosen to go through things, because we do have these powerful gifts, right? As healers, we do have these powerful gifts, and, we have to stay true to our path as healers, right? You have to have faith in your abilities. I feel like this is also confirmation for some of you that that you're a healer. You may have been toying with that or questioning that or going back and forth about that, but no, you've definitely been through like a spiritual boot camp that says, yes, Cancer, you have the strength, you have the endurance, you have what it takes, okay? The challenges that we faced these past couple of months, these past couple of weeks, you guys, like, you know what I mean? There is really, there's a method to the madness. It's not just because, oh, the world is going to shits, okay, excuse my language, or it's not just because you're doing something wrong. No, I feel like Spirit was really putting us through a boot camp. That's exactly what you kind of have to think about it. Spiritual warfare, right? And you're going and you're training and you're preparing so that you can endure for these challenges, right? The challenges that you face, so that you can turn around and help others through their challenges, right? Cancer, I really feel like this strength card, it really just says that the overall energy is going to be about resilience, right? This week, it could kind of test your patience, your courage, your ability to stay grounded while things, around you kind of feel uncertain. But I feel like Spirit is reminding you that challenges aren't here to break you. They aren't here to end your world or whatever, right? They are actually here to show you how strong you really are. You know what I mean? because especially with that healer energy, y'all, this healer energy that showed up here at the bottom of the deck, I feel like, it just takes it even deeper. Like, you're not just being asked to just like tough it out. You know what I mean, Cancer? You're being asked to use your natural healing energy, use your natural empathy, and your intuition and your nurturing gifts to just kind of move through whatever comes up, right? This is not just about living in survival or trying to survive, right? It's really about changing and transforming. So I feel like the universe wants you to see that your very presence, your compassion, and even your willingness, right? Your willingness to grow through the pain, through the challenge, like the rose through the concrete, that's going to be healing for others too. It's not just about you. It's going to definitely be healing for others. So I feel like, this week feels like the universe is just sharpening you, right? Where think of it as like resistance training or strength training for your spirit. You know what I mean? Every obstacle that you face is going to be a weight that builds your emotional and your spiritual muscle, right? And that Capricorn first quarter moon, y'all, I feel like it's going to be pressing you into maturity. And these cards that are coming out are really echoing that. You know what I mean? You are now stepping into your healer energy by just showing up strong for yourself. You know what I mean? Showing up strong for others, right? Like I said, it's not just about us, but even when it's uncomfortable, still showing up. That's what this is about this week. Okay, so Cancer, but let's move into the challenge of the upcoming week. Let's look and see the challenge of this upcoming week ahead. The potential challenge Cancers may face this upcoming week, Spirit. When it comes to our strength and being healers and being the light of this world. Look, the learning, okay? And there's definitely, okay, confirmation, the energy of perseverance. I don't know why it's glaring like that, but so learning, but the learning card says you are being led down the path of unlearning and relearning to make smarter decisions as you navigate uncharted ground ahead, okay? So trade your knowing for curiosity, or trade your wanting to know for curiosity, because I feel like, yes, Spirit is definitely just confirming again, Cancer, like you have gone into boot camp. You are learning the tricks of the trade. You are unlearning the things that this world has taught you that have kind of held you back from rising to your true purpose and being the healer that you are, right? But there is this message of saying, you're not going to know everything, and it's okay not to know everything because you're still in a learning period, okay? And you can persevere. That's why you have the strength through this learning period, okay? Spirit is teaching you how to make healthier, better decisions in all aspects of your life, right? It's like you're going somewhere you've never been. Are you not going to listen to someone who's been there, been down that road, or knows what's ahead, that can see? You know what I mean? It's almost like you're blindfolded. And Spirit is the person that's in your ear as a walkie-talkie as you're going through, like that little maze game, right? You are learning, Cancer, and it's okay. This is going to be a process of unlearning. And I feel like that's where the real challenge is going to come in this week, having to unlearn the things that were instilled in you, because this could be, very much since childhood, just because of your environment, society, all of the things, right? But I feel, again, like the challenge this week is that you are going to be asked to unlearn and relearn. And I feel like, honestly, my generation, I'm just gonna say that we having to do that anyway in real life, but spiritually, figuratively, literally, I feel like, you know, no matter what age you are, no matter what your generation is, spirit is asking you as a Cancer to unlearn and relearn. Okay, and Cancer, that's not easy for us, you know what I mean? You're gonna feel like you're secure in what you know, right? Because again, like I said, this could be something that you've learned since birth, right? And so it's hard to let go of things that you feel like you just know to be true. And so I feel like this learning card really just says the real obstacle is going to be letting go of those outdated beliefs, those habits, those, you know, ways of operating, your MO, and just you're gonna have to be open to the curiosity. Gonna have to be open to the curiosity, Cancer, because you just can't have all the answers right away. That is just not, you just can't. Sorry, that's what Spirit said, okay? But the perseverance energy showing up here at the bottom of the deck, y'all, like I said, it really tells me that the frustration may really come from just feeling like you've been trying and trying and trying, and you just, the progress is slow, the process is slow, right? But I feel like it's like you know, when you're studying something new and your brain wants to kind of just default back to the old habits because that's what feels safer, right? But Spirit is saying that you're going to have to push through, Cancer. This is the payoff is going to come from sticking to the process, persevering, and not trying to rush the outcome. You know what I mean? So I feel like this week's challenge really is just going to be being mentally flexible, you know what I mean? And because like it says, you're navigating uncharted water in your relationships, in your career, and even your inner healing, you know what I mean? And the universe is saying that you don't have to have it all figured out. Just stay curious, but definitely this perseverance energy kind of reminds you to not give up, even when things feel repetitive, you know what I mean? Or you feel like it's not clicking or you're not getting it. You can't give up, Cancer, because the truth is you are being rewired for something better. It's like your neurons are being, you know, that takes time, but it works. You can definitely rewire the neurons in your brain, and that's what Spirit, I feel like, is doing for you. So like in real life, y'all, this could look like you learning a new way to budget your money, right? Or but finding that you keep slipping back into your old habits, your old spending habits, or, you know, you may have to have like a hard conversation in love that forces you to just rethink what this partnership really means to you, right? Or y'all, this could even be at work, you know, being asked to kind of adapt to new systems or new responsibilities, and those things are going to push you out of your comfort zone. They're going to stretch you, right? And so that could be, you know, how this is showing up. But Spirit says you have the strength to persevere. Like, you have the ability, something that's going to take somebody, you know, years to learn. Spirit can have you learn this thing in 24 hours, you know, but you just have to be open. It's like your mind has to be open and flexible. Let's see. Let's move into how to best navigate the energy of this week ahead. What is the advice that Spirit has for Cancers this week ahead? Ooh, interesting, Cancer. So soulmate is showing up. It says a soulmate connection is making its way to you. Keep your heart open, just like you need to keep your mind open. And don't fear letting love in. Know that you are being divinely guided to be in each other's lives. And this is the number 44 card. I don't know if y'all had peeped that stability card that showed up as on the bottom of the deck when I was shuffling a little bit. And that's what I definitely feel like this soulmate is. It may not necessarily be in a romantic way, but it's definitely going to be somebody that adds stability, that adds to your ability of having this strength, right? That's what I feel like this really is. So look what showed up here at the bottom of the deck, y'all, though. Relocation. There's going to be a some sort of change to your home, or possibly you're going to be moving into a new place. You could just be, this could be you just changing the furniture in your house to change the feng shui, y'all. But it's like you're a new environment. You may even need to do this, you know, as you're unlearning. You know how you can get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom with your eyes closed because you know your layout, like by memory or whatever. It's like retraining your brain to learn a different way. So rearranging your room. That's what this could look like, you know. Some of you, this could be hitting you in an extreme way depending on the rest of your placements, that you are literally moving or literally relocating. You know what I mean? But y'all, I feel like with this soulmate card coming out, like the way to get through this week's challenges, y'all, with this soulmate, I feel like the universe is saying that you know, the universe is putting the right people in your path, all right? Whether that's a romantic partner, whether it's a friend, this could even be a mentor, this could be, you know, whoever spirit sees fit to be in your life, that I said, you know, kind of adds to that stability, right? This isn't going to be the week to want to like try to isolate or just try to figure things out alone, y'all, because I feel like spirit is saying, you know, asking you to lean into relationships and connections this week, right? Spirit is saying that these relationships are divinely aligned for you, you know, and the lesson that you're meant to learn is easier when shared with someone who mirrors your growth. And that's what I feel like this soulmate will be to you. Like I said, it may not be romantic for everyone, or, everyone. Because I know when people hear soulmate, they automatically go to romance, but this could very much be a platonic connection that is coming into your life because you learn through your relationships. I feel like you learn best through your relationships because people can act as mirrors, you know what I mean? But I feel like, you know, spirit is saying to navigate this week. It's going to be about being open to stepping into this new territory. This could be with new people, new connections. Spirit is just saying you have to trust that it is aligned, okay? And especially here with relocation, y'all, underneath, I feel like there's for some of you, like I said, it's a literal shift, or for some of you this could be very much just a symbolic shift in your environment, the people that you are around. You know, for some of this could, for some of us, this could mean moving or like changing a job. Like I said, rearranging your physical space. For others, y'all, this can even be about mentally relocating, you know, just kind of stepping outside of old environments, old boundaries, old routines, you know, even old social circles, y'all, that no longer serve you. And, you know, just open yourself up to new and fresh energy. That's why I feel like spirit is almost saying it's giving kind of like, yeah, you're moving. I hate to say it like this and paint it like this, but just walk with me, okay? Because I feel like spirit is saying like you're moving up classes. It's like you're going to have to unlearn your life at a lower class as you move into this higher class. And I don't say that to make it like there's anyone better, or you know what I mean, but just to try to illustrate. Hopefully you pick up what I'm putting down, okay? But yeah, you're going to have to be willing to step into uncharted territory and really just trust the bonds that come with that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like spirit is saying that you're getting the right people to help guide you, okay? And that could mean, you know, your soulmate connection supports you through these growing pains, right? Or, you know, that a soulmate in a broader sense, it is kind of like a soul aligned friend, right? Or a teacher or a guide, or, you know, someone that's going to show up when you need them. So in real life, y'all, I feel like, this could look like meeting someone who just shifts kind of the way that you see love or the way that you see partnerships. This could look like a heart-to-heart that really just gives you the courage to make some type of big move, make a big leap, right? But some of you could definitely feel pushed to like physically move or travel, or just like I said, rearrange your space, you know, where you are, to just kind of align where you're heading. You know what I mean? So I need you to definitely be open to this energy, but we're going to move into the love It's interesting that soulmate came out because we're going to move into the energy of love and relationships. Definitely with Juno entering Sagittarius. Let's see what else deepens this love and relationships for Cancer this week ahead. Ooh, so yeah, and look, spirit guys, your spirit guides are definitely here. I'm telling you, soulmate energy, 1111. You may see 444, but your spirit guides are definitely watching over your situation. Like, your angels are hooking you up this week, okay? But we got building blocks that showed up. And it says that this card is a sign that you will attract a solid relationship. So again, confirmation. Spirit is putting somebody in your life, okay, that is aligned with where you're going, okay? Already established relationships will get stronger. Both of you are laying out an honest, strong, and genuine foundation. And so definitely with building blocks, that's the energy of progress. You know, things don't get built overnight. There's usually a plan, and you have to kind of be strategic, but it's given very much. I'm seeing the Lovers card too, because your spirit guides are definitely over like your matchmaking situation. And like I said, it doesn't have to be love for everyone, but for some of you it very much could be. But and I want you to know, and spirit wants you to know that it's safe. It's safe to love this person or open up to this person, let this person in, you know what I mean? And I really feel like with this building blocks card, y'all, it really just says that love this week is gonna be about the foundation. It's gonna be about the foundation. So, you know, whether you are single, whether you are partnered, spirit is really just asking you to kind of focus on, I feel like, creating relationships that are stable. That's why that stability energy showed up, right? Creating relationships that are authentic or that are mutually supportive. It has to be even, right? So this isn't just about chasing butterflies or chasing the drama, right? It's about doing the work that makes love last. And I feel like, you know, with Juno and Sagittarius, with that energy of freedom that had showed up again, excuse me, it's like, yes, Juno and Sagittarius wants freedom, but it also wants honesty. It also wants, you know, expansion, going to the next level. So I feel like these cards that are coming out, they really show that your strongest connections for you now are the ones that are built on the truth, that are built on expansion and helping you grow. Excuse me, y'all. And then again, with the spirit guides energy showing up here at the bottom, it's just confirmation that you don't have to build anything alone. You know what I mean? Your ancestors, your angels, your guides, all of them are watching over you in your love life right now, Cancer. So just pay attention to the recurring, the signs, like the synchronicities, the repeating numbers, the nudges that you get. So, and also too, if someone new shows up in your life, I feel like spirit is saying that it is safe to trust this connection. Of course, feel out and trust your intuition, but I do feel like spirit is saying, you know, be open to this new connection. It's safe, you know. If you're already partnered, y'all, I feel like this is going to be the sign that you have divine support behind you that is helping you kind of build a deeper, strengthening that bond, that foundation. So, you know, love this week is going to be divinely guided. It's going to be rooted in intentional effort too. You know what I mean? So think about like building a house. You don't start building the house with the roof, right? You start with the foundation. And that, you know, for us, Cancer, the foundation, it has to be trust. It has to be trust. It has to be openness. And it has to be true spiritual alignment. Like, that is deep. It's deep. Like, it can't just be about, you know, the butterflies and the frilly, how you make me feel. It's way deeper, okay? So, again, like in real life, y'all, this could look like you meeting someone this week that just instantly feels familiar. They feel like family. They feel like you've known them before. You know, there's really the vibe of like this past life energy. You know what I mean? Strengthening a partnership with this strength energy, by having like an honest conversation about the future. that could be happening for you this week. Or you could be guided, you know, through this could be through dreams, or through angel numbers, like I said, or even just your intuition. It's so important to trust your intuition. But you're going to be guided to see the truth about a connection. I feel like there's going to be clarity about that. So be looking for those signs and those synchronicities this week, Cancer, okay? But now let's move into the money and career for the week ahead. We got Capricorn, that Capricorn moon, last quarter moon. Pallas is going direct in Aquarius. Let's see what the money moves deck has to say. What's the energy guiding Cancer's money and career this upcoming week, Spirit? And look, again, connections. There are going to be some bonds that are broken. There are going to be some bonds that are built, okay? This is going to be the week for those tower moments and connections. Some connections were just a lesson. They were just a learning experience, okay? So this could be the end of some type of business connection, some type of relationship tie. This is the 5 of Cups. So, and I do feel like it could be sad, you know, especially with this being my rendition of the 5 of Cups. There is that energy of kind of feeling like, oh man, I missed out on something. I lost something. There's a bond that's broken, right? But Spirit is saying those bonds are being broken for good reason, okay? Because you are going to meet connections that are meant to take you where you are aligned to be, okay? Building trust, all right? Building trust, a loyal network, a loyal tribe, okay? This is your soul tribe that Spirit is connecting you with. And this is the Knight of Cups. This is my rendition of the Knight of Cups in my money and career deck, you guys. And so again, with the Knight of Cups, you can there's the underlying message that there is something coming towards you. So again, Cancer, this is a soulmate connection that you don't have to go on Match.com for. Spirit is bringing this. It almost feels like, you know how people try to say, you're not gonna find your partner, you're not gonna find your mate, Amazon ain't gonna bring them to your door. Lies, because Spirit really is bringing them into your life. So that's why it's going to be very important and imperative to pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, trusting your intuition. If your spirit tells you to go home a different way, or go to a different grocery store, or just, and you're like, it doesn't even make sense, but it does. I'm telling you, it's not random, because I feel like you never know who you're going to run into. And that just goes in back to last week, where I feel like Spirit was saying, you know, kind of, there was a message of kind of dress for the occasion, or dress for the job that you want. Dress for how you want people to perceive you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of giving, you know, be on your best behavior, or be a, you know, because you don't know who you might run into. As random as the grocery store. But I really feel like, you know, again, the builder of connections in regards to your money and your career this week are all about networking, all about trust. Trust is the key word this week, y'all. And I feel like Spirit is showing you that your success right now isn't going to come from you trying to push a sale, or trying to hustle a little harder, or trying to even just go for those quick wins, right? I feel like it's going to come to building the connections, building your community, right? So this is definitely in line with that Pallas energy, or that Pallas going direct in Aquarius, right, energy, which is going to, I just feel like, clear the fog. And that's kind of happening in the Strength card. I don't know if you're able to tell, but it's kind of like the fog is clearing, right? And it's just showing you your strategic way to move forward. So collaboration and community are going to open doors for you, Cancer. Lean into that. You know what I mean? And of course, yeah, again, with the broken bonds here at the bottom of the deck, y'all, some partnerships, some jobs, some collaborations, they just aren't meant to last, okay? I need you to hear me and hear me well. They just aren't meant to last. It's not a failure. It is not a loss, okay? Spirit is saying, do not cling to the connections that don't value you. Do you hear me? Hear me and hear me well, okay? Do not cling to those connections that don't value you, Cancer. If you have been feeling a disconnect at work, if you've been feeling, you know, a disconnect with clients or even in your money matters, y'all, I feel like this is a sign that those ties may need to be broken. Okay, they may need to be released. They need to make space for new authentic connections and opportunity. The people that spirit is really trying to have you align with. Okay, so I feel like your career path this week is going to be less about, like I said, trying to hustle and make those sales or those transactions. It's going to be more about the transformation, y'all, because spirit is teaching you, or teaching us, y'all, that every ending, every, you know, every broken bond, that is just only going to create space for connections that are loyal and align with your purpose. Okay, so this isn't just about business, y'all. This is about spiritual alignment. Again, remember this energy. Okay, so in real life this week, y'all, this could look like, you know, trying to finally saying goodbye to a toxic job, a toxic client, you know, or just even a partnership, and just really fully understanding and realizing the blessing in disguise in that. Okay, you know what I mean? This could look like you meeting someone new who just becomes a key ally in your career journey. You know what I mean? And that's going to be imperative, right? This could look like shift in your business or your career focus, you know what I mean, from just kind of trying to hustle and chase the money to just really building and cultivating a true community, which ironically is what's going to bring you the more abundance, you know what I mean? So I feel like really, yes, you are the strength. You have the strength this week because you are the healer, Cancer, and spirit is connecting you with people, aligning you with people. Some of these people are going to help, you know, you, and some of these people you are going to help. All right, I do kind of want to read the strength. I'm being called to read the strength message for this week, and then I'm gonna let you go. Okay. It says, when pressure is applied to coal, it transforms into glittering diamonds. We are similarly tested at points on our soul journey, so our hearts can let in more love, our wisdom can deepen, and we can rise higher into our light. You may be facing a challenge, be grieving for a loved one, or even have had your heart broken, Cancer, but you may even be feeling scared and alone. Call on the unicorns to help you, to hold you, love you, and support you. Let them carry you on their backs as you go through this deep initiation. See, I told you it's an initiation process. You are leveling up in your healer journey, Cancer, and that's why you're in this boot camp. It's an initiation process. You have to go through the boot camp of it all, okay? It says, let yourself grieve or feel vulnerable for as long as you need to in order to fully heal, because healing is important. But know that you do have the strength to come through on the other side, and that you will. You absolutely will, okay? You have been through many, many trials and many lifetimes, and you have prevailed through them all, Cancer. You have the perseverance, okay? That's why I say it's not coincidence that you're a Cancer. It says, when you're ready, look for the hidden gift in this experience and the reason why your soul called it in for you at this time. Know that just like this piece of coal, you will emerge from this experience glittering and bright like a diamond, Cancer. So spirit is saying, look, this is not your end all be all. I really feel like too, spirit is saying, you know, this week is going to be about your choices, okay, about your connections and being open and receptive. So that Capricorn moon is pressuring you to really step up. I feel like Juno is shaking your love life to really demand honesty and growth, y'all. And then that Pallas going direct energy is really giving you that aha moment when it comes to strategy. So this is really good. Please do not let fear make choices for you this week, Cancer, okay? Please do not make fear or scarcity make choices for you this week, okay? Keep that in mind. But I'm gonna leave it here, you guys. I done yapped enough. If this reading resonated, please hit that like button, you guys. Leave me a comment, tell me what resonated. Share this video with a fellow Cancerian, okay, who needs it. And of course, if you want to go deeper with me, you guys, you want to get personal, click the link in my description box to book your personal reading, grab one of my classes or your ebooks, any of that stuff. But you guys, yeah, I'm going to see you in the October readings, the money and love readings. Just make sure that you got those notification bells turned on so you do not miss it. Okay. Love you guys. In the meantime, in between time, until next time.